Good morning. Welcome back to Farmer's Wife Homestead. I'm Stacey. If this is the first time we're meeting, can you hear it? Slightly better. It's 3 days since three and I hold up a 2. It's Wednesday today and I filmed on Monday. So it's 48 hours later, feeling a lot better. I've been taking high dose vitamin C. I've got my fermented honey garlic that I've always got in the cupboard. I honestly think the high dose vitamin C is helping, but I couldn't get into town. I was too sick, and so many of you have messaged and said that you've had the same thing and it's absolute horrid. So I pray that you all keep well and you don't get this horrible virus. Anyway, now as I said in the last video, my next video was supposed to be about ramen noodles. So as an example, is it focused? My eyes is terrible. That's an example of a noodle packet that you can get over here. That's a fairly popular one in this household, and also Maggi, good old Maggi ones. Yes, I know they're not the healthiest thing for you because the noodles are fried and all that sort of stuff, but it is quite a staple snack meal over here in New Zealand. And these used to be really quite affordable for a family. I think a packet of these comes, I'm not sure, I'd have to go and check. Yeah, so there's 10 in a packet and they're 85 gram packet. Now I think, and I will put a little bubble up here, I think they're around $8, $9, $10 in the supermarket now, so they're quite expensive. And one day I saw this huge pack of 1 kilo noodles, which is basically exactly the same thing, but for way cheaper. This is a Highmark brand. I will try and find how much these things cost me, and I will put them in little bubbles up here to let you know. But just know that it is way cheaper to make your own than it is to buy these. And yes, they're a convenience kit, especially for convenience food, especially for teenagers and the likes. But you know, you can make quite a meal out of them by adding bits and pieces. So we're going to make our own today. I'm also going to just explain something about eggs. In the last video I mentioned that I needed to wash like 5 days worth of eggs, and I had a couple of comments about that you don't have to wash your eggs. Yeah, I'm well aware of that, and thank you for letting other people know that in the comments. But because I was just so sick by the end of that video, I never got around to talking about washing eggs. So basically, you can see that's the state of the eggs coming in at the moment, because we are in winter months. Some of them, like these are yesterday's ones, some of them are coming out like this because it wasn't raining yesterday, so they're not as muddy, and that's the only reason why I wanted to wash these eggs. Now the thing is when you do wash your eggs, you are basically removing a protective film, which the chicken naturally imparts on the shell when it has been laid, and it's called a bloom. So therefore you do not need to wash your eggs. And these ones in here that aren't dirty, they're not going to get washed. So it's only these really dirty ones that I wash up. So in the summer months I never even bother, you know, and you don't have to store them in the fridge then. If you do wash them, you have to store them in the fridge because you are taking that protective layer off the egg. So that's why they need to be refrigerated. Alright, so yeah, just to explain that, and thank you for mentioning it in the comments in case other people or there's new chicken owners that don't know about washing eggs. You don't have to wash them, but when they're this dirty, I prefer to, because when you crack them, you're going to get little bits of debris and dirt and stuff into whatever you're cracking your eggs into. So all of these have been washed this morning, and I'm just leaving them on here to dry, and then these ones will go in the fridge, and then these ones and these ones that weren't dirty are going to go on the bench. And remember when I was telling you about my little teeny tiny eggs that the pullets are laying? That's an example. When I say teeny tiny, they are teeny tiny. That's like a quail egg. So this is the size of a normal egg. Yeah, so little Miss Tricks, because there's no yolk in this, it's just egg white. And it's just them practicing, it's their bodies getting used to laying eggs. Miss Tricks gets these as a little treat. Okay, so in this packet of noodles, you get your little block of noodles. So you get this little packet. So this is basically a garlic oil, and in the last video we made up our own garlic oil, so that's been sitting in the fridge. This is a sweet soy, or a ketchup, and it's a sweet soy. It's called ketchup manis, well that's how I pronounce it, and I've always got a bottle of this in the fridge. And then this is a sweet chili. So I'm not a huge fan of sweet chili, but I do have a bottle of this in the fridge as well. So there's your three basic ingredients here that makes up quite a big part of these everyday instant noodles. So if you've got these three products, you know, if you enjoy sweet chili, this garlic oil will last a long time in the fridge, and this bottle lasts a long time. So you've got these three in the fridge already, then you have got multiple, absolute multiple of noodles that you can make. It's going to save you money. The other part is the fried onion or fried shallots. So you can pick them up at Asian specialty stores, a big packet of them for a few dollars, and you will have a year's supply, because look, that's all you get. It's not even a teaspoon worth. And I don't know about you, but this is my favorite part. The crunchy is my favorite. And then this packet here is basically a stock powder. I'm going to say this is about half a teaspoon. Yep, that's half a teaspoon of stock powder. So those are all the ingredients that goes into this packet. Now, just getting my bulk noodles. I can't remember if I got them at Gilmore's or whether I picked them up at an Asian food store. But if you go to Asian food stores, some vegetable shops have them, bulk buy places, supermarkets have them in bulk. This is, I weighed this and it was 65 grams compared to the 85. So it's a little less, but that's just the way that it came. And this is just plain egg noodles, okay? Right, so if you've got the base of this, a lot more cheaper, and you've got your three base sauces, then all you have to do is get your usual stock. And your choices with that is, I've shared before my chicken bouillon recipe. Okay, it's full of turmeric and lots of lovely bits and pieces. So I've been using this, which is very nice. Excuse me, I've just got to see why Trix is barking. I just had to chase the big boar out of the backyard. That's why Trix was barking. She's saying, Mum, the pig's in the yard. Oh, I'm done with pigs. Done. Right, where was I? So, chicken bouillon powder, or you can use just chicken stock powder. You can use beef, you can use vegetable, whatever it is, up to you. You could just use liquid stock to make them. Right, so what I'm proposing is that you've got a couple of different ways. You could get little snap lock bags and you can pop them into a bag, and you've got another couple of things that you could do. You could get dehydrated vegetables, so this is peas. I tried them, I wasn't a fan, because they take forever to reconstitute. So for me personally, I would rather just throw in some frozen mixed veg. So if you wanted to make it easier for the kids, you could bag individually. You could pop a teaspoon of your stock in there, and then just have these sauces on hand, and then just let them know how much to pop in there. Or you can do, which is what or you could put them into jars and have everything made up into little baggies and put it into jars, and that way you could just you could pick one up and go take it to work, you know, like that sort of thing. Or you could just keep all the ingredients in whatever they've come in and just make them up cheaply as you need them. So you can just see how easy it is, and how much cheaper it will be to buy these ingredients separately and then have them just sitting in your cupboard, and it will save you so much money in packaging, you know, because like every little packet that comes within this packet, and a teenager definitely will have more than one of these, so that's 2 packets. So you know, you do save packaging as well. And I'm going to top mine. I'm going to make a poached egg and put it on the top, and I'm going to put a little bit of chicken in it. So I'm just going to show you how you can zhuzh it up a little bit, and then I'm going to sprinkle a bit of the everything but the bagel seasoning on the top. So let's make one together and taste it. Okay, so I've put one of the noodle cubes in there, and I've just covered it in water, with hot water. And you've got 2 choices. You can put your chicken stock into this water, but it's just going to dilute the noodles down. So it's up to you. You could put a couple of teaspoons in and cook it in the stock, and that will flavour the noodles. Or you can put the stock in afterwards. So I'm going to do afterwards, and I'm just going to boil this until the noodles are cooked, so 3 or 4 minutes. And to the side here, I'm just going to start a pan of hot water, and I'm going to put a little bit of salt and a little bit of white vinegar. And the white vinegar helps to set the egg white. And I'm going to grab one of my little pullet eggs and poach that. In fact, I might even do 2. Right, the other thing that I want to pop into this one, now if you have a microwave, you could microwave this, it'll be a lot faster. I don't have a microwave, so that's why I'm doing it with this. I have this bag of chicken pieces, pre-cooked chicken pieces in my freezer. I just get it in bulk at Gilmore's. I'm just going to pop that into just some chicken into there, and let that heat through as well. Obviously you don't have to do that, but this is going to make it more of a meal. Again, you can add veggies if you want. I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of corn and a couple of baby peas. Okay, everything's boiling away. Just going to add my egg. Just going to turn that poaching liquor down to a lower boil, just until it's simmering. See the effect of the white vinegar has had, and I like to make sure that the top is getting a bit of hot water over the top. For my poached eggs, I'm just getting a paper towel ready. You can use paper towel, or you could use a cloth, clean cloth, and I'm just going to scoop them out onto this to drain. So there's my eggs. Need just a couple of seconds longer I've gone out to my greenhouse and I've picked up a couple of leaves of spinach, and I'm just going to chop that up. So as I was saying, you could do this prep and the night before pop it into jars, and like your chicken will thaw, your frozen veg will thaw, and then take it to work with you. And then I've got some spring onion from the greenhouse as well for some crunch. Okay, that's fully cooked, so I'm just going to drain everything. Drain it really well. Of course, as I said, you could have cooked them in the microwave. That's simple enough for a teenager to do. So now I'm just going to put a bit of the chicken seasoning in there. So I'm going to do, I'll try half a teaspoon. Just give it a try and see what you prefer. I think it needs a little bit more. And I'm just going to pop some of that garlic oil in there. I love this. This is my favourite, so I'm going to do quite a bit of that. And a tiny bit of chili oil, or chili sauce I should say. Just going to give that a really good stir around. Smells good. Now I'm just going to pop in my spinach, and I'm going to leave some of that spring onion for the top. Just give it another stir. Spatula, get everything. And then I've got my 2 poached eggs, a little bit more of the spring onion, and some everything but the bagel seasoning. I thought would be quite nice on the top. Now you could also add garlic powder, onion powder as well for extra flavour. But there is my little noodle lunch. Right, because I can, I'm going to put just a little bit more of a drizzle of the sweet soy. Yum. Eggs are slightly overcooked now. Oh no, they're good because they've been sitting here for a while. Let's give it a try. Right, you could add pepper if you like, but looking forward to trying this. Trying to get a little bit of everything. Oh my word. Wow. So I had this idea a few months ago and I've been meaning to film it for ages. So I finally got around to it. This is great. I wish I'd thought of this when I was working full time. I could have popped everything into a jar or into like one of these containers, taken it to work and had a nice filling meal. And you can mix and match the flavours and make it exactly how you want it. That is so good. So full of flavour and so much better than just your standard noodle pack, because you can just make it how you want it. Seriously guys, money saver, time saver, because you can make up a few of these and pop them in the fridge. Oh, excuse me while I have another mouthful. Oh wow. One of my new favourites, and I have to say, I think this is a shut the front gate. This is a shut the front gate recipe, and I haven't done one for a while. This is so delicious. I'm going to take a break. This is the end of the video. I'm going to enjoy this as my lunch. Give it a try. Come back and let me know if you give it a try. Let me know if you do something similar, or if you've got other ideas to share. But this is just going to save you a lot of money. Alright. Thanks for being here, and bye for now. One moment. Can I just say that garlic oil, it's just resonating in my mouth right now. And that sweet chili sauce, there's no hit of heat or anything. It's perfection on a plate.